Hey, what's happening guys? I'm ika.himee and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to do a storytime video because I honestly don't think I can talk about dragon titties for a full 12 minutes, and it's really just self-preservation. You know, I'm trying to make my videos interesting at this point because I don't know what I'm doing, and talking about my art is probably pretty boring, and I racked my brain forever, and I'm sorry if you can hear the thunder in the background. Apparently there's a thunderstorm going on, and I'm really just praying that I can get this video done and saved and exported before the power goes out, because every time it rains heavily the power goes out. So honestly, living on a prayer. Shout out to Bon Jovi. So here we go. This is the story of how I got into anime, I guess. I don't remember which came first, the Pikachu or the Sailor Moon, but it honestly doesn't matter because they kind of aired at the same time along with Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, and I was a 90s kid, like in the sense that I was born in the mid-90s, and the 90s didn't like effectively end until like 2005, so that was around the time that anime was actually airing on like prime time, like Cartoon Network and shit, and so that was when my earliest experiences with anime came about. So, you know, there was Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Naruto, you know, like pretty much the norm, I guess. I don't really remember anything outside of that, but I mean, that's what was on TV. And I can't remember exactly when they stopped airing that on TV, but they did at some point. I don't know why, and I don't remember when, and I don't really care, but at the time I had no idea that it was anime because it's all dubbed, and back then a lot of the stuff was actually like culture dubbed, so, you know, especially like Sailor Moon, like they changed the names and like a lot of the circumstances and stuff like that to fit my country, which is the United States. They did some things to dub some things out, which I don't entirely agree with, but it happened, and we're moving on. So it was probably years before I rediscovered anime. I was always into cartoons and stuff. I watched pretty much everything, you know. I just honestly couldn't get enough of cartoons. They were literally the only thing that I watched, except, you know, for a few years where I watched Disney Channel, but honestly, Disney Channel never really had a lot to offer, and it just wasn't really great programming when I was growing up. It wasn't really, there were only a few things that I would consider like great or acceptable programming for like people that were my age, which was like, I don't know, between like 6 and 9. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, so pretty much for that it was like cartoons, so it was Cartoon Network and like Nickelodeon, and that was pretty much what I watched, and you know, then it just kind of slowly became just exclusively Cartoon Network for several years. So it wasn't until middle school that I kind of like fell back into anime again, and it wasn't like I just like found anime. Like up until this point I'd been collecting Pokemon cards. Like I absolutely adored Pokemon. I didn't really, I guess, perceive it as an anime because again, with all the dubbing and stuff, it's just a cartoon, you know, and Pokemon was such a big deal in the United States that it just never really clicked to me that it would come from another country, that it would be, you know, not originating in my country. You know, insert typical American arrogance, am I right? Anyway, so I collected Pokemon cards, and like I remember my friend's brother actually like gave me his 90s Pokemon cards for my birthday. Jesus Christ, that was a really loud crack of thunder. Oh my god, I need a minute to cool down. Oh my god, I think that my heart stopped for a second. Anyways, so he gave me all of his 90s Pokemon cards, which I am so grateful to have. Unfortunately, he didn't have any Charizard cards, so that sucks for me, but he did have the original 90s cards, so for that I am very glad. But Anyways, so I got all of those and I still have them. I have all of my Pokemon cards. I never got rid of them, and I will still occasionally go get a pack from the store, and it's just kind of like a guilty pleasure of mine, you know. It's just like that whole nostalgia thing. Like I've always loved Pokemon. I will still play Pokemon Go every now and then, and I will buy Pokemon plushies, and right now I am kind of just saving up some cash so that I can get a Snorlax plushie, and hopefully not one that's too terribly big because I can't fit it in my room. But anyways, so it was around 6th grade, I guess, that I kind of rediscovered anime, and it wasn't like me stumbling across it. It was just kind of like my friends were kind of into it, and by into it, I mean they liked Naruto. And another one of my friends, they were an artist, they like to draw. We are no longer friends anymore, we don't associate. That's kind of like a story for another time, and it's like a really boring drama-filled story, but we're not friends anymore. But at the time we were friends, and she was an artist, and that was kind of like when I got started with art as well, and I was just kind of like, you know, that's like cool that you're drawing stuff, and you know, in her style I would say was like a bit more Sonic inspired. I think she was like really into Sonic. But, you know, like, it was still kind of like anime-ish, and so I kind of got into that, and I was like drawing similar things to what she would draw, and then I started branching out, and I'd be like looking at like anime drawings and stuff like that, and I referenced a lot of drawings, especially Arina Tanamara's, because her style was like the epitome of 90s shoujo, and it was everything that I loved, and I wanted to draw as well as her. And so like I just have sketchbooks somewhere that are just filled with, you know, reference drawings and stuff like that, and none of them are good. They are all terrible, but I would always like try and like improve that and like create my own things with what I learned. So I was like really trying hard, and I was probably doing that for like a year, you know, and I was like trying to teach myself how to draw. And it was like a year before I actually read a manga, and my first manga, surprise, surprise, was Vampire Knight. So I read that. I like read the first couple volumes of that, and I want to say it was still a while after that before I watched anime, and like I think one of the early ones I watched, like, I had friends that were into Hetalia. I thought it was pretty funny at the time, but like ultimately I kind of think it's boring, and I'm not really into Hetalia. I don't actually harbor any feelings towards it. I don't care about it. It exists and that's fine, but I don't really want to watch it. I just think that in the scope of anime it's pretty boring. But that was like one of the early ones that I watched, and then I watched like Fruits Basket and stuff, and so that was like kind of how I got into anime. And then I found Vocaloid, obviously, as like, you know, every weeb starting out finds. So Hatsune Miku will always hold a special place in my heart because she was the first Vocaloid that I ever found, and she was the one I fell in love with first. So and she's adorable, so obviously I will love her forever. But even though there are like voices that I like better, like Luca's, she's just, I can't ever let my little Miku girl go, because she was my first, you know? So that was just kind of like how I really got into the culture. And then, you know, later on I got a tablet and I started drawing and posting onto the internet, and then, you know, I just kind of got more and more into anime. People would be like, oh, have you seen this, or have you heard of this character, and blah blah blah, and then I would, you know, find more anime and stuff like that. So that was really just kind of how I got into it. And it's probably not a super exciting or original story, and I'm pretty sure like every weeb ever has gone through the exact same thing, but that was pretty much it. And I was not into Naruto back then, so I actually only just now got into Naruto, and we're talking manga only. I will not watch the anime, there's way too much filler. But the manga is pretty decent, and it's far more decent than I thought it would be, and I'm actually laughing at myself at the fact that I unironically enjoy Naruto after all these years of like using it as kind of a joke. But anyways, you know, learn something new about yourself every day. But yeah, so back then I didn't really watch Naruto seriously, and now I'm kind of into Naruto, and it's just kind of like the ultimate ironic joke for me. But anyways, Like, that's it. And it took me a while to get back to Sailor Moon too. Recently picked it up to read it because reading is a lot easier for me than watching, and I just prefer reading it more, you know. But anyways, so, you know, that's kind of how I got into anime. How did you guys get into anime? I would like to hear how you found it, and, you know, if you start out with Vocaloid like me, or, you know, Pokemon was your gateway, just let me know. Just drop some stuff in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's kind of long, and I don't know, it might have been rambly. I'm sorry, I'm really trying my best. I spent a long time trying to think of a story to tell you guys, and that was literally the best I could come up with, so, like, you know, please have pity on me. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you didn't enjoy my story, I hope that you at least enjoyed the speed paint of me drawing my dragon girl Edith. I hope to be doing a lot more art of her soon. I actually really adore her. The links to my social media, shop, and Patreon are all in the description box below. You can check that out. As I've said in previous videos, my shop will most likely be closing soon, so if there's anything that you want, please make sure you run over there and grab it. I'm just letting the listings expire. If you like this video and want to be updated every time I post new content, please hit that subscribe button to let you know every time something goes up. And if you want to be extra notified, ring that bell. You don't have to like this video, but, you know, likes are kind of appreciated. Or you can dislike it. I don't care what you do. It doesn't really mean anything to me. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!